Welcome back
to In-Laws in Crime.
I am Megan.
I'm Ashley.
This is In-Laws in Crime. I'm going to fix our camera.
Oh, there we are.
I feel like we were really tilted up there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hello and welcome back. It's been busy.
Mm-hmm.
We had... What did we do this past week? Oh, we had a Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
We went trick-or-treating and then we had a little party.
Mm-hmm. It was very fun.
Yes.
Your decor was so cute.
Oh my gosh.
Megan went all out on the inside and the outside. It was just Halloween City. It was so cute.
I love Halloween. It fills my soul.
Yeah.
My black little soul.
Well, it was so cute.
Thank you.
Jacob and I had so much fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We did. We had probably too much fun. So,
and I just want to say that we kicked ass.
Yes.
Flip cups.
So, preface, this was an adult Halloween party. There was no children there, but we played a few rounds. We went back old school. We're old now, but every year we play flip cup at our Halloween party. And the girls this year whooped butt. We woke up the next morning and I looked at Drew and I was like, man, y'all sucked so bad.
I don't think did they win one?
Maybe
did
they
we
won.
Win all of them?
I think they won one.
Okay.
And they got so pumped up about that one. They're like, we're coming
Oh,
back.
and they talked so much shit.
They did.
Oh my gosh.
They
For
did.
such losers.
To be such losers. So
that was it. That was the highlight of my weekend was your Halloween party.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
I also, let me say this too. I also went to Canton with my brother and
nice.
his girlfriend. Yeah. That my brother had never been to Canton.
What?
I know. Trades Days, if you're not from here, Trades Days, Canton has the first Monday of every month, or the weekend for the first Monday of every month. They have Trade Days, which is
huge.
The biggest flea market in the South. And
it's huge.
You can spend all weekend there, exploring it around if you wanted. So my brother had never been. So we went with him and his girlfriend.
Was his mind blown?
Yeah, he had no idea what to expect. So, but yeah, I think they quite enjoyed themselves. And anyway, yeah, so that was the other thing that I did this weekend.
Nice. Weekend. It's rare you meet a person that hasn't been to Trades Days.
Oh, right. That's from here. That's from the area. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Wild.
Not wild. Yeah. Wild. Well, okay. That's that. We're going to start a new little thing, I think, at the beginning of each episode called, well, we don't know what it's going to be officially called. We're going to call this one Crime Corner. But we're going to go over like a few little local crime highlights for the week for East Texas, just to keep everybody up to date on all things crime. And this week was a freaking doozy.
It really was, yeah.
So an officer in Jacksonville, it was a female officer and her canine were out on patrol, and she spotted, I think his name's Bobby Dennis. I'm pretty sure it's Bobby Dennis. Spots him and knows that he's got like 2 outstanding warrants. And so she goes to like make contact with him, and he proceeds to pull out an AR-15 and just starts firing off at her. What I read, she ducked behind her patrol vehicle. She's got a canine in there. He's firing at the car now, hits the canine. She tries to go off into some woods for some cover. And I think he hit her once in her leg and once in her arm. And she never pulled her weapon. She wasn't able to ever pull her, because I think when he first hit her, it was in her firing arm. And so she could never pull her gun.
So I haven't read this. Did he take off after that, after he shot at her?
Yeah. So she calls out, I guess, over her radio. Yeah. And then they caraflat her to Tyler. They caraflat the canine to an emergency vet. Both are recovering. So both survived, which praise God. But today, this is coming out on Friday, but today, Wednesday, he's still at large. They still don't know where he's at. But there's a $21,000 reward. So, hey, be on the lookout.
Yeah.
But yeah, look up the pictures and stuff of him, because if you spot him, call that sucker in. But so devastating. And Ashley, when me and Ashley were talking about it, Ashley was saying she read some comments of freaking hateful people saying, "Oh, the cop deserved it."
Yeah.
Nobody
so
deserves
awful.
that.
Nobody deserves to be shot.
Nobody.
It was awful. Yeah.
Even,
just,
I mean,
internet.
yeah.
What do they call them? Keyboard warriors or trolls.
Trolls.
Anyway, good thing. Like, I had to get out of the comments because it was making me so upset. But
Yeah.
a lot of people came to her defense. And
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, good.
Yeah, as they should.
And that poor canine.
How can a cop be deserved to be shot? That's so terrible to say. Or anybody to be shot. That's
right. And then I had two of them. The other one was, this is heartbreaking, but a woman, I think she was 27 in Lufkin. I think she's from Lufkin, and this happened in Livingston. And she, I don't know, she had been red flagged at some point, whether people were calling in on her or what, but she had an 8-year-old son. And they found her vehicle somewhere in Livingston. And when officers got there, she had taken her life and her 8-year-old son's life.
Oh, terrible.
So sad. So sad. So prayers for their family and stuff, but that's heartbreaking.
Awful.
Yeah. So bringing you back further, I mean, this is just a crime podcast. I'm going to sink you even lower with the case that I'm about to do.
Oh, yay. That was your appetizer, your criminal appetizer.
That was a little appetizer for the crime. So today, this episode is going to be a shorty, but because we couldn't ever get, I don't think we could. Oh, yeah, we got some records. We got, but it was a few pages long records, but scoured and dug and found all that I could and talked to some people that were friends of friends of friends of some of these people. So we're going to be talking about the murder of Donald Whittington. And so for references, I have Smith County Records, KLTV.com, Murderpedia.com, JustaLaw.com, PlainviewHerald.com.
Okay.
Are my references. So here we go. We are in Tyler, Texas, on April 20th, 1997. Back to the 90s we go.
Okay. So Tyler was wild in the 90s.
Wilding out. Yeah. A lot of these cases.
Was not in the 90s.
Yeah.
And the one I'm doing this week is also in the 90s.
In the 90s. The 90s were wilding out.
It was.
I feel like Tyler or East Texas in the 90s is kind of like, I think it's like California back in the 70s, where all those, there was like 50 serial killers running about in California area, LA, wherever. Okay, so we're in Tyler, Texas. We're on April 20th, 1997. It's a Sunday night, and at the Steeplechase apartment complex, which Ashley had in her last case.
Yes.
I actually talked to our father-in-law about, because Ashley, it came up in her case, and then it came up in this case. And so I texted him, and I was like, Steeplechase apartment complex. And he was like, doesn't ring a bell. And I was like,
no clue.
Well, there's my answer. But I was like, well, it's came up in two of our cases. I was like, do you remember that being kind of like a high crime apartment complex? And he was like, no, from what I can remember, it was mostly college kids, which it was, because I did a little research. He said mostly college kids. It had like your basic college kid disturbance calls, like being loud, drinking, all of that stuff.
By
fighting.
Chance happened to be in our our episodes.
We picked the two. Yeah. So there we go. But we're Sunday night. We're at the Steeplechase apartment complex. The complex itself is just where college kids lived. A lot of them attended TJC, Tyler Junior College. According to our father-in-law, which I just said, I'm not going to reread that. Okay. So Justin Fuller. He is 18 years old. Tamika Hill, unknown age. I could not find for the life of me her age. And Brett Chandler, 19, all sat in Tamika's apartment located there. They had recently graduated from Chapel Hill High School. And Justin had, I think this was like a year prior, he was at work and got caught stealing money from the cash register on the videotape. So that's kind of just a little snippet of who we're dealing with here. He's just a little troublemaker. Justin's girlfriend at the time, Tamika was Justin's girlfriend at the time, but she had been at work and she had just gotten back to the apartment complex. So they're all three kind of just sitting there hanging out. Not much is known about their criminal history or personal on all three of them, except that one that I found on Justin, his little stealing thing there. So, oh crap! Did I just throw that down and not read? I do that all the time. Did I just do that again? Yeah. Why do I do that? Sorry.
Megan just throws her notes away before she's done.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, I think I just read and I'm like, done. No, Megan. Okay, so then that's them. Our other two players in this case are 21-year-old. I cannot pronounce his name. Shamhermundry, but we're going to call him Weidman because his last name is Weidman.
Yeah,
They called him like Sam. Some people called him Raymond. I'm just going to call him Weidman because that name's a mouthful. And then 25-year-old Elaine Hayes. Both were a couple and they lived in the same apartment complex. Not much is known about their history either, criminal or personal, but they were new acquaintances of Justin and Brent's for about a week or so prior to this. Weidman and Elaine had been making it known to Justin and others that a man in the upstairs apartment at the same complex named Donald Whittington III had some rings of Elaine's that he had. We will get to all of that in a second.
Okay.
But first, let's talk about Donald. He was 21 years old and he worked at a local hardware store there in Tyler. And he was going to college at TJC as well. His parents were Donald Sr. and Raquella Whittington. Donald had recently inherited a small sum of money from an unknown source. I think it was like a grandparent passing or something like that. And he inherited some money. And I think when he turned 21, he received those funds.
Gotcha.
So I don't think it was a substantial amount, but it was, a little chunk of change.
More than what they had.
Yes. It's believed that Elaine had actually borrowed some money from him. And so as collateral, he was holding those rings until she paid him back.
Oh.
So there's that.
Okay.
Weidman was being pretty vocal, though, about getting Elaine's rings back and had told Justin and some of the others that he intended to do just that. So let's remember Elaine and Weidman are a couple. She borrowed money from Donald. Donald is holding her rings. And old freaking Weidman is just pissed because he wants Elaine to have her rings back.
Okay.
Okay. So on this particular night, Justin, Brent, and Tamika sat in Tamika's apartment when Weidman comes over and says that he's tired of messing around. He's tired of messing around with this boy, he says, and asked Justin and Brett if they want to go over with him to Donald's upstairs apartment to get these rings back.
You know what? To get your rings back, how about show the money?
I'd say no, thank you.
Show the money.
I'd say no, thank you. You can go do that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not
Weidman.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the three of them walk up to the apartment and Elaine is there already in Donald's apartment. So she had went up there prior to this and was, I guess, pretending to hang out with Donald or whatever, but she's in Donald's apartment. And so when the three of them get there, she opens the door for them and lets them in. When they go in, Justin and Brent sit down, sit down on a small couch and Donald was sitting in a recliner. Weidman, they kind of small talk for a little bit. And then Weidman walks over to Donald asking if he's going to give Elaine her rings back. Donald obviously states that she has still not paid him back yet. So no, he's not going to give her the rings back. At this point, Weidman pulls out of his pocket a big old thing of mace and points it and sprays it directly into Donald's eyes.
Okay.
Like right there. And if you've ever...
No, I have not. No.
Okay.
No, Megan, I have not.
was about to say one time.
I've been hit in the eye with lemon juice though, or like touch my eye after messing with jalapenos, and that's enough.
That's a lot. I was in a room one time when we were really young, and one of my friends had one of those little pocket, the mace little
like your
keychains
keychain
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she had one. I don't know. One of the dumb boys sprays it. They didn't spray it at any of us, but they just kind of
in the air.
Holy crap. That alone cleared that room out quick. And we were all coughing and crying.
Yikes.
And so I can just imagine from what I was reading, it was like a big thing of mace. and he sprays it directly into Donald's eyes. So obviously, Donald, starts running, holding his face, going towards the door. Weidman grabs Donald and drags him back to a back bedroom.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's fun. So he takes him back to this back bedroom, and then Weidman proceeds to tie Donald's hands with ace bandages. He had brought ace bandages to this.
Okay.
So he ties up Donald's hands with the ace bandage that he had brought with him, and then wraps one around his face, covering his eyes. So he literally wraps around his face with the ace bandage. So wraps his head up, covers his eyes, and he also takes a blue bandana and ties his feet, and then throws Donald down on the floor onto his stomach. He starts asking Donald where the rings are, and Donald says they are in a cabinet in his room. Currently, they're in another room. It was a 2-bedroom apartment. At this point, Weidman starts going through the house, destroying everything, trying to find all of the rings. And so I read the interview with Justin. And in this interview, Justin stated that, because I guess when cops finally do go to Donald's apartment, it's just totally wrecked. Trashed. So anyways, he's going through there, destroying everything, trying to find these rings. While all of this is going on, Justin states that him and Brent are just sitting on the couch laughing.
Oh, it's just a good time.
Isn't that funny? Isn't this so funny?
Jealousy's an ugly color, too.
What?
Shouldn't be wearing jealousy, you know?
And he said that in his interview. Because I remember reading it, and one of the officers asks, okay, and what are you and Brent doing? And Justin says, we were just sitting on the couch laughing. That's so funny.
Wow.
What in the world?
Okay.
Some people. So Weidman ends up finding a few of the rings, but he wants more, or they is what I said. They want money. According to Justin, Weidman asks Donald if he has an ATM card, and Donald says yes. But when Weidman asks for the PIN number, Donald refuses to give him the numbers. This is when Weidman pulls out a gun and threatens Donald, saying, if you don't give me those numbers, I'm going to have to shoot you, quote, end quote.
But if you shoot him, you still don't get the numbers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are not the brightest, not the sharpest crayons in the box, as they say.
Okay.
So now, just as a reminder, I'm getting some of the, all that I've said just now from Justin's interview. So this is what Justin is relaying to the cops in the interview. So let's take a lot of this with a grain of salt on Weidman.
Oh.
Yes. So let's just take it there.
Noted.
Yes. So what we do know for sure, though, what happens next, Justin, Brent, Elaine, Weidman, and now Abound. My country accent keeps trying to come out. Abound and blindfolded Donald to get into Donald's red eclipse. Donald's head is now fully wrapped. So they've wrapped his like a mummy. And that's quoted in the interview. They wrap his head and just leave his nose exposed.
Okay.
Like a mummy. Which I can just imagine would be freaking terrifying. They then drive to ARP State Bank in Chapel Hill, where $300 is withdrawn from Donald's bank account. After this, the group drives out to Sandy Beach, a local park at Lake Tyler. When they arrive, Donald is dragged out of his car and made to walk barefoot out into like the wooded area of the park. They then make him get on his knees, and then Donald is shot twice in the head and once in his arm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
For $300 and some trash rings at your girlfriend.
Probably were not real rings.
Probably not.
It's infuriating. Like, what are we doing, folks? Whoa. So then obviously they all haul butt back to the car, and then they all drive back to the Steeplechase apartment complex. The next day, Monday, April 21st, several items were taken from Donald's apartment, and I could not get the timeline on when these items were taken, because in some sources it would say that they were taken while they were all still in, when Weidman had Donald in the bedroom. that Justin and Brent started taking stuff from his apartment and putting it down into Justin's apartment. But then other sources would say that they came back the next day and stole a bunch of crap from his apartment.
I would imagine if he lived by himself, it was easy just to go back and forth as they pleased and pilfer through.
Yeah, he was literally the apartment right above them.
Yeah,
right above him.
I mean, to me, it would make sense in all the rush of the madness of the mace and then dragging him out to get the money and then taking him to the woods. They probably didn't steal much at the time, would be my guess.
I would think so too.
Especially if Justin and the other dude are just sitting on the couch laughing.
Having a grand old time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so much fun. So the next day, Monday, April 21st, several items were taken from Donald's apartment, including his stereo TV and a watch and other like small miscellaneous items. Justin claimed that Weidman came to his, the old tale, Justin claims that Weidman comes to his apartment saying that he took all this stuff and he wants Justin to store them in his apartment, in Justin's apartment.
Okay.
So that old tale. They're not mine. I don't know how they got here. So it's just like when a cop, I love the show Cops. Have you seen that recently?
I have not. It's been
I'm
years.
pretty sure you can still watch it on Hulu or something like that. But every once in a while I'll catch it. And it's every single time. It never fails. Like they're going to search somebody's purse or their car or even their pants pockets. And they pull out like meth or crack
someone
pipe.
else's crack pipe. Yeah.
These aren't even my pants. Like that's always.
People are so dumb.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yes. So dumb.
Cool.
Yeah. So it was reported that the $300 was split between Justin Weidman and Elaine. They also took Donald's car, the Eclipse, to Walmart, the Walmart in Tyler, and then left it there. They were trying to figure out, from what I read, if they were going to sell it or if they were going to, like, I guess, take it to a chop shop and get it sold off or whatever. But it's found there at the Walmart in Tyler. So Justin and Weidman also tried using Donald's ATM card again. Okay, so I was reading this. And they already kidnapped Donald, took him to the Arp State Bank, took out the $300, shoot him, kill him, and then decide the next day to go back to an ATM that has cameras and try and get more money. Like, it's so dumb. What in the world? I just was laughing my butt off about that. So, but it was unsuccessful, and I couldn't figure out if his card had already been frozen or what, because I never could figure out who reported him missing or like how that was found out. So I couldn't find that anywhere.
Either way, the debit card was not working. Right.
They tried it again. And then I said, or if they're just dumb, which they most certainly were, and they just forgot the PIN number. Yeah. Because they are dumb. Yes. Because their next moves are so dumb. Justin in particular would not shut the hell up about this. And you're about to be on a ride. In an extremely sick and twisted turn of events. Everybody brace yourself. Justin Fuller then decides to take some friends to freaking see the dead body of Donald.
Just like a little local tour.
Hey guys, guess what I did?
I'm sorry. And if you asked me if I wanted to go see a dead body, no.
That's very alarming.
No.
That's very alarming.
I don't even look in the casket when I go to funerals now. Right? I just kind of walk on by.
Right?
Yeah.
What?
It
gets more alarming. Okay. It gets way more alarming.
Are people paying for these tours?
Right. Like, what the hell?
Okay.
So he takes them to see the dead body, where Justin tells them that he's the one that shot Donald. So he's taking people to see poor Donald's dead body and telling people that he's the one that did it, that he's the one that shot Donald. It's reported that around a dozen high school students from Chapel Hill and a little older went to see the body.
Unbelievable. And not one student reported this? Or is that how we know?
So
allegedly,
we have
a bunch of little shits running around.
Right. Like, come on. I know y'all are high. I know y'all are kids. But I feel like my 7-year-old would even...
You know it's wrong. Okay. All right. This pisses me off.
I know.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Totally okay. Allegedly, Justin and others took pictures with the body, which is just what were you planning to do with those pictures?
Why?
Show them to your grandchildren? What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, is it frame? Are you gonna frame it?
So yeah, they take pictures with the body.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Just really quick. I'm going to circle back around because we're talking about the 90s and everybody was using, like, nobody was walking around with like cool cameras at that point. We were all walking around with disposables. You had
disposable cameras.
And then it all had to be developed. So there's not printing this shit at home at your home computer. You're taking it into Walmart or Eckerd's at the time, probably, and having your stuff developed.
Yeah. And so that's another thing I wanted to mention too. You can't find those photos anywhere. And I think from what I've read, I don't know if they were never developed or if the cops never got a hold of those pictures or whatever, but several of the students reported like Justin and a lot of them taking pictures with the dead body, with Donald's body. So freaking horrifying. This goes on for 3 days.
Oh my gosh.
3 whole days. And we're in April in East Texas.
Okay. Hit or miss on your temperature.
Hit or miss on your temperature usually.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we're in East Texas. We're always
pretty warm.
We're always pretty warm. Yeah. So this goes on for 3 days until finally a boy named Kevin Ballard, a high school student at Chapel Hill High, overheard people talking about seeing the body and the location of the body. Kevin called and reports this to police.
Thank you, God. Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
And thank you, Kevin's parents who raised a good boy.
Right. I couldn't. There.
It's okay.
Allegedly, there were reports that Kevin was one of the ones that went to see the body, but he calls right away.
At least he told.
Oh, yes.
At least he was like, you know what?
This is sick. And
I thought it was a joke, but now I see that it's not.
But then there was also reports that he just overheard them talking at school about it. And
okay, so whether he toured or whether he overheard, he did the right thing.
Right, exactly.
Kudos to Kevin.
Good job, Kevin. And my pet quail is named Kevin. My boy.
Your quail are the cutest.
My boy quail. Oh, Kevin. What was the plan here is what I said, which again, like what were y'all trying to do? What were y'all going to do with these pictures? Like, what the hell? Okay, and I put there about Kevin. Police find Donald Whittington's body on April 25th. They promptly secure the scene and start processing it. They noted that they noted 3 bullet wounds, and Donald was still bound and blindfolded still. A thorough forensic examination was conducted at the scene at Sandy Beach. The gun was never recovered, ever. But fibers, fingerprints, and other evidence were collected. When police go to Justin's apartment, they find Donald's ATM card and in Justin's wallet and Donald's watch. What you got that for, Justin? At this point, the TV and stereo were not recovered. They were either sold or taken somewhere else. I think I read in some of the reports that they had been taken to a pawn shop.
Yeah, it makes most sense for the 90s.
Yeah. At this point, so the FBI, an FBI agent interviewed Justin, which I meant to text Steve about this, our father-in-law. But this was not handled by the FBI. So I'm not sure if this was just a local FBI agent that happened to be stationed in Tyler that helped them out with the interview process.
Yeah.
Regardless, in the records, the FBI Special Agent Dennis Murphy and Captain Bobby Gorman of the Smith County Sheriff's Office interview Justin. In the interview, which I read again, Justin walks them through his account of the events. He basically places all the blame on Weidman, like I told y'all, and makes him out to be the mastermind. Justin stated that it was Weidman that sprayed Donald with the mace, that it was Weidman that bound and blindfolded Donald, and it was Weidman who drove the group to the Sandy Beach. He also claims that when the group made it to Sandy Beach, Justin says he just picture this. They have poor Donald bound and blindfolded. And they're all hopped up. They, adrenaline's probably pumping. They go to the ATM, get the money. They knew They knew that that whoever was about to do it, that this poor Donald was about to die, was about to get shot. And so Justin claims that when they pull up, that Weidman's dragging Donald out of the car and is making him walk to the woods. And Justin says he goes the opposite way to go pee.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say. That's a really unimportant detail that nobody needed to know.
Yeah.
So what you did in the meantime, whether you walked the opposite direction or not, it doesn't matter. So to me, it's a lie.
Yeah. And it's a lie. But yeah, I just thought, because I was really trying to put myself there. And I'm sorry. I just don't think that you would have walked away to go pee when you're like, even if you're a bad guy, even if you're a criminal, even if you're committing the crime, I just don't see you just walking away to go pee when you know what's about to happen.
Yeah. And again, unnecessary details.
Yeah.
You're trying to bury the real story.
Yeah.
And you distract everybody with all your unnecessary details.
Right.
And it's just like, it seems like he really fabricated quite the story.
Oh, yeah. So he claims that when he goes to pee, relieve himself, is when he hears pow, pow, pow.
Yeah. I don't believe that for a second.
No, me neither. So that's what he claims. A far different story than what he'd been blabbing about to all the other students and kids that he took out to see Donald's body, like a freaking
So he was
Stephen King book or
all
something.
brave and ready to take, credit for the murder of this man.
Oh, yeah.
Until he got in front of authorities. Then he was like, oh, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm innocent. I was peeing.
I was just pee-peeing.
I was just on the couch laughing. And then I peed.
And then I peed.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Shut up, Justin. During the interview, several holes, obviously, were poked in the story, one of them being that Justin was just an innocent bystander in the whole ordeal, when in reality, 3 other witnesses and a handful of others named Justin as the shooter. So you got multiple people telling police that you were the one that was the shooter, and you were telling people that you were the shooter.
Right.
The officials during the interview pointed out this several times, and Justin gave no real logical reason to all of these people why they would be all lying. So you're saying all of these people are lying, Justin. They all hate you so much, which, mind you, Brent and a lot of the other people that he had taken out to see the body were his friends. And they're the ones telling the authorities that, well, he's saying that he shot Donald. So anyways, Justin was charged with capital murder and booked either that same day or shortly after. I couldn't get that. So this is one of when me and Ashley first heard, Ashley doesn't know all of these details, but I know she knows this detail because this is the detail that had us like jaw on the floor. And I confirmed this detail with 2 other sources. And one of the sources was somebody that knew some of these people, and I'll just say that. So another alarming detail of this, and that it was some strong evidence that was presented at trial, this was actually used, was when Justin Fuller was booked, and in his booking photo, which is not available to the public, he is wearing blue contacts. And those blue contacts were Donald's contacts that Justin took off of his dead body and wore them around.
That just blows my mind. Like, okay, and I guess they weren't prescription, because how could you wear them if they were? So, like, I know, like, back in the day, you could just do the color changing ones.
Or Justin is so sick in the head that he would rather walk around blurry visioned because he's so sick.
But I just don't get it.
It's nauseating.
Out of all the things to take off the body, you can take the watch, the wedding ring, or whatever he may have on that you think is valuable, but you took the
contacts out of his eyes.
Yeah.
Out of his eyes.
I can't. You dug it around in a dead man's eyeball to pull out the contacts and then just popped them in. Okay.
Oh, several people reported this to authorities, as well as Justin's co-defendants. So this was very well known that he did that. The details of the trial are not publicly available. I looked and could not find the transcripts for the trial. But the prosecution had witness statements and forensic evidence, Justin Fuller's little semi-confession, and the ATM money withdrawal to back their side up. Ultimately, the jury found Justin Fuller guilty of capital murder. Weidman and Elaine Hayes were also found guilty of capital murder. Brent Chandler was found guilty of aggravated kidnapping and aggravated robbery. So the judge sentenced Weidman and Elaine to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Brent got 25 years in prison, and Justin was sentenced to death.
I'm sorry, did you say how old Justin was?
19 at the time.
Okay, so he was an adult.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. 1 year, I'm pretty sure it's 18 and under. He was 19. So
okay, cool.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, Justin. Justin and his defense team filed numerous of appeals in both state and federal courts after his conviction. His appeals moved through a series of levels, including Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, the Federal District Court, the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, and ultimately the U.S. Supreme Court. All of these were denied.
Yay.
Yeah. A lot of people hopped on board with this, like some famous people. Obviously,
like
when it got to
Justice for Justin?
Yeah,
kinda?
Stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. Pretty sure, I don't want to throw a name around that I don't know. But anyway, some more famous like politicians and stuff tried to get Justin the death sentence off the table for him. But Justin Chaz Fuller was executed by lethal injection on August 24th, 2006 in Huntsville, Texas.
Wow.
Yeah. Justin's family, including his mother, father, and brother, were present to witness this procedure. Yeah. Tough. And you feel bad for them too.
Yeah.
Like, anyways, okay.
Yeah.
So Donald's father, though, however, was also there and witnessed the injection.
Ooh, that had to have been a room full of tension.
Yeah. I think it was on separate sides. So Justin's family is on one side from what I read. And then Justin is in like a glass area. And then Donald's family was on this side.
Okay.
So they couldn't intermingle.
Okay.
Thank God.
Probably for the best.
Jeez Louise, yeah. Donald's father made a statement to KLTV saying, quote, "It was too easy compared to what my son went through. It was really too easy. He showed no remorse in court and he showed no remorse being injected," which is, end quote, which is just so heartbreaking to think about Donald's father, knowing what all Donald went through. And then, the death penalty is such a hot topic, but I'm sure Donald's father witnessing that, that statement to me seemed so valid. Like Donald went through and died such a horrible death. And then even after his death, his body was just maimed and, I just can't imagine. And so then for him to see, Justin be peacefully injected and died, I'm sure that probably gave him no closure almost.
Yeah, probably not.
One of Justin Fuller's last quotes, when asked if he regretted his actions, he stated, "If I had regrets, it means I've done it," end quote, which stood out to me.
If I have regrets, that means I've done it. So
yeah.
he's still
so you have no regrets.
Innocence. He's still maintaining his innocence.
You have no regrets. Even if let's play a little game and let's say, okay, Justin, you were innocent and you were just an innocent bystander. You mean you don't regret watching Donald get beat the hell out of, maced in the face, tied, bound up, and then shot?
Right.
You don't regret that? You don't regret being a part of that?
Right. Whether you pulled the trigger or not.
Like that just stood out to me. Like, okay, you don't have any regrets. Well, good, because you're about to meet your maker. So when I was researching this case and talking to the various people, the same question kept coming up, or the same statement of why Justin Fuller was executed and got the extreme punishment when there were other obvious players in this case. But when you zoom out and you look at the case and what happened as a whole, you have to ask yourself, what was the difference between Justin and the other co-defendants? The big difference in Justin, to me, was the one who took that extreme twisted step, those extra steps that he took, taking people out to see the dead body, bragging about killing Donald, taking his contact lenses. I mean, taking his clothes. There was reports that he took clothes off of Donald's body. And I believe one of the most crazed moves was the contact lenses, like I just said. When you look at all of those choices made by a very sick individual, I believe that is why Justin was sentenced to the most extreme punishment, which is death. So, whether Weidman was guilty of what Justin says he did, or, Elaine or whoever it was, Justin is the one that then proceeded to be so freaking twisted and sick by doing all those things. And so I think when the jury and the trial and all of that was going on, I mean, obviously the extreme punishment is valid to them at that point. So that's how I looked at it. I can't help but think of the absolute terror that Donald went through that night. And there were reports, which I couldn't confirm it, but apparently when they told him to get on his knees, he started praying, and that's when they shot him in the head.
Oh my God.
That's just heartbreaking.
Terrible.
Yeah. And his poor parents to know what all Donald went through and then what happened, like I have said, after he died, is just imagining your baby being killed in the first place is terrible. But then to know that he was basically a freaking show and tell for some sick Fucker.
Oh, I already said it in the episode. It's already rated
Patty
R.
will get my...
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Miss Patty.
No, she ain't gonna get your butt.
I already made this episode rated R.
I mean, when I post these, I say explicit.
That's good.
So, a little fun fact, though, about this case is it actually inspired Texas state law to be passed, criminalizing the act of knowing about a dead body and failing to report it to the authorities. So,
good.
That is one good thing that came out of it.
It's really sad that we have to have that.
You have to make a law.
That's really sad.
Yeah. I keep wanting to put my elbow right here.
I know. I had mine on the table earlier.
But yeah. So, that is the murder of Donald Whittington III, which is just so sad. And some of the people I was talking to that knew some of these people, a lot of them didn't really know Donald, but they knew Justin and they knew the Brent guy. And it was just really in line with the type of people they were. So they were twisted.
Yikes.
So nasty. But anyways, that's that.
Thank you, Megan.
Oh, you're so welcome.
This terrible tale.
You're so welcome. Happy I could bring all you down. But it is a crime podcast and you clicked on this. So you wanted this. I'm just here to give it to you. But yeah, so come back again next Friday.
Yeah, I'm scrambling. I scrambled, but I got a case. I know. Well, the
records has been hard lately.
It has. And the case I really wanted to do, I had to request for the FBI, and they're not the fastest department. And so I had to scramble and try to find something that I could find a lot of information on.
We got so excited because we got a response from the FBI in our email, and we were like, oh, they actually sent it. And it was just a letter saying, we don't have anything.
It was just a letter. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, but I do have one to bring to you, and I'm excited. I'm editing notes right now. So it's going to be a wild one. It's also going to be kind of sad. Well, you know what? They're all sad.
They are.
What am I going to say? They're all sad.
Yeah.
They're all sad. But
it's going to be kind of sad, guys.
But the individual in mine, the way they're left this world is sad. And to me, it's not, it was, I don't know. Okay, we'll cover. You know what? I'm just rambling.
We'll talk about it on
we'll cover
next
it
Friday.
Later. Yeah. So tune in.
Okay. Well, follow us on all the socials.
Yes.
Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Listen. Subscribe.
Spotify, Apple.
Yeah. Like, subscribe. I can never do it. I can
subscribe.
Never,
subscribe, share.
I can never say it.
You know, Megan and I are recording again on a Wednesday evening, and it's hard. It's hard when you have a whole day at work.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm very much an introverted person, and I went back. I've talked to so many people today. I went back and looked, and I've talked to like 37 people today, and I am just like
drained. Social battery drained.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, words are hard on.
I had to drive to Dallas today, and nobody likes to do that.
No,
nobody likes to do that, especially me. But yeah. Anyways, we're tired. We're gonna go to bed now. So
yeah, we are. Okay.
Well,
thanks for coming back. Thanks for listening.
Keep your roots deep
and your head on a swivel.
Bye.